Hello, this is Dr. David Silverman, Triple Diamond in ASEA, and this very brief video is for associates, not for prospects, as part of a training library series to go into a library. Hopefully it'll help you. The particular topic here is three-way phone calls and why they're so important to do in this business. And people have a lot of resistance doing three-way phone calls, getting their prospects, the people they know, their friends, neighbors, relatives, contacts, on the phone with somebody else. There's a lot of resistance there, and usually it's because the associate is uncomfortable springing someone on the line with on a phone call with someone they're talking to. They're afraid that they're going to offend their friend and so forth. So this is really, really important. This is a really important video I'm shooting here. I'm not going to go into the particulars on how to do the three-way phone call and get good at it, but it is important to get good at it, because if you don't do three-way phone calls in this business, you will not have the success that you want. I promise you that, and I'll explain the reasons. And if you don't get good at doing three-way phone calls, if you do them poorly, you won't have success either, okay? So that's what the topic is, because this business is about step one, creating interest, sending them a video to review, and then following up in the form of a three-way phone call. And that's where a lot of people fall. They'll create interest, but they don't follow up properly. They keep following up themselves. Then they start hounding people and chasing them, where it's better within 24 hours, if you follow up and have a third party on the line and do this properly and edify that person as an expert, a nice person, helping you, helping a lot of people, then the whole experience is pleasant. It's pleasant for the person, the prospect. I don't like to use the word prospect, but I'm using it here. For the prospect, if it's a pleasant experience and like, oh, they're grateful that you had someone else on the line, then that's the way this business will really grow, because that's duplicatable. So why are three-way phone calls so important? Why is it so important for you to bring a third party in? Number one is third party validation. Critical. To hear another person's perspective, to hear another person's story, very, very important to opening someone's mind up. Because also, if they go online and they read negative things, they may say, I'm not interested, but they're not telling you why. You got to find out why they're not interested. They think it's salt water. They think it's a pyramid scheme. All these misconceptions, and they may not want to hurt your feelings. And they may say, they may think, David, I'm not gonna tell him that he's sucked into a pyramid scheme. So they'll just say, I'm not interested. But if you have a third party there, they can draw out their questions and get them addressed. Three-way phone calls are not about convincing people. It's not about give me your credit card. Three-way phone calls are third-party validation. They get to hear someone else's perspective. They get to the expert you have online will expand the vision. Maybe the person you're talking to is thinking about, maybe this will help the wrinkles of their bad knee. They have no idea the other applications here. And their story can engage them, and they start realizing, oh, like I get people on the phone with as soon as I introduce this to people, I get them on with Debbie Wetzler or somebody else I get them on the phone with. I want them to hear someone else's perspective, so they realize it isn't just David. Oh, Debbie had this story happen with her mother, this, that, the business, whatever it is. Third-party validation, number one. Number two is, again, expanding the vision. This is much bigger than they had thought. Three, answering questions, answering objections. Okay, we're going to be able to ask and get those questions out so we can address them. Right? So the whole point is to get to the point where they say, hey, it's safe, comes with a guarantee, I'm going to try this stuff. And possibly, hey, wow, I'm looking for a business. This could be it. We need to get them to the point where they try it. Without them trying the product and knowing that it works themselves or someone else, then you're kind of stuck, quite frankly. Plus, the other part of the three-way phone call is that you learn. You get good at doing three-way phone calls. You introduce your person to the expert you have on the line. You edify the expert as being an expert, a nice person, caring. You're going to like him or her. I wanted to have a third party on the line for you to an expert on the line, so you get a different perspective. This is too important just to listen to me. And then you hear the conversation. That's how you learn how to answer questions, because guess who's going to be the expert for your person? You are. You're going to be the main go-to person that they're going to get people on the phone with. Now, here's the thing. This is a duplication business. It's not what you can do. If you've just gone out and signed up 20 people, good for you. If you did it the right way, yay. If you did it the wrong way, just a little caution here. It's not what you can do. in this business. It's what you can duplicate and what you can have duplicated. If you're really good at sales, or you have a lot of credibility, and you're just telling people, you should do this, you should do this, you should do this, and they're like, okay, I'll do it. Great, you're going to sign up a lot of people. That's called going wide. But if those people can't turn around and do what you did, if they don't have your skill set or credibility, guess what? You sign up 100 people, in a year, you're still going to have 100 people, maybe 110, and you're going to quit because you're not going to see duplication. So important. The way you introduce this to people is critical, because whatever you do with them to get them to the point where they say, I'm going to try this, and oh, there's a business too, they're probably going to duplicate that. No matter how much we tell them how important three-way phone calls are, if they didn't have one, they're going to be resistant. Unless they're really sharp, they're going to say, I didn't need a three-way phone call to make a decision. And they're going to think, I'm not going to do them. I don't want to get someone on the phone with my friends. They don't understand that if it's done in a really good way and you get good at doing it, it's a pleasant experience. The prospects you have, once the expert says goodbye, you'll hear the prospect will say, well, that was really great. I'm glad you got David on the phone. I'm glad you got Susan on the phone. Because it was not about selling. It was getting questions answered, relationships. So I hope this helps just for you to understand the critical nature of doing three-way phone calls. If you don't do them, you will not have success in this business. And if you don't commit to get good at doing them, and believe me, there's a wrong way to do three ways. You know, hi, this is David. He's my business partner. He's really successful. I want you to talk to him. That is not the way that you introduce somebody on a three-way. But if you don't do them, you're not going to have success. If you don't get good at them, you're not going to have success. I have a document that I'm going to share real quick on the screen. And I have this, and I can send this to anybody about doing three-way phone calls, why they are critical. I'm going to shoot another video in just a few minutes here, hopefully, really explaining how to do them properly. But I hope this is helpful to you. And if you find it helpful, save this in a file and utilize this. Because as you teach your people to do three ways, this can come in handy. And by the way, you know, it's a big responsibility being a sponsor, okay? Because it's got the same root word, responsibility and sponsor. The way you educate people about ASEA, make them aware of the product and the business opportunity, is critical. You could shoot yourself in the foot by not doing three-way phone calls because you're not going to have success. And you're shooting the person in the foot who you're talking to about it if you don't do it. Because if you don't do three-way phone call with them, one or more, they really probably won't do three-way phone calls. They're going to get frustrated chasing people and they're going to quit. So really, 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 this was a really important video. And go back and listen to it again and save it. And if you find it useful, leverage it with your team. Thanks so much. Talk to you soon.